We now turn our attention to snooker, the World Championships coming up in Sheffield. It's early days, we're only at the end of March now, but we just want to have a look at the form of the contenders, the people at the top of the market. Just discuss what chance people have in this tournament, what we can expect, and picking out value at this stage in terms of the betting. At the top of the market, we've got Mark Selby, 5-1. He won the UK Championship. He's a world champion. Great pedigree, world number one for a long time. Tremendous all-round game, good safety, good temperament. Of late, I don't think he's been himself. Obviously, he has won the UK Championship, so he's still got the pedigree, still got all the tools. But I mean, in recent history, the recent tournaments that we've had, I don't think he's been at his best. He's looked very nervous. You sometimes see him in the chairs, looking a bit uncomfortable. I think that's how he is anyway. He's an introverted character. There's always a little bit of that, but there's less of it when he's playing well. And at the moment, in terms of his body language, we're seeing a lot of that. So that might give us a handle on what his mentality is like with regards to his confidence in his game. And he hasn't really won since the UK Championship. Obviously, that's a massive tournament. It's one of the majors. Defeated Ronnie O'Sullivan 10-7. But since then, it's been a little bit quiet. But looking at the World Championships, he's one of those people that will prepare for that. He'll peak for that tournament, and he may well be a factor. For me, I'm not going to be looking at numbers like 5-1 though, and getting excited. So Mark Selby, we know what he can do. He's a potential winner. From a betting point of view, we'll be looking past that for the time being. Judd Trump is 11-2. He's in tremendous form. He won the Players' Championship recently, defeating Marco Fu 10-8. We know about his style, tremendous break builder, very quick player, very stylish, lots of century breaks. I think sometimes in the past he's let himself down, he's capable of more, but then his overall game, maybe his safety, sometimes isn't up to the level. He is very good, his safety, but sometimes when under the severest of pressure, he doesn't produce the quality of safety required to close out tournament wins. But in terms of the form at the moment, there's an argument to say he is the form player at the moment. I think 11-2 is too short though. Obviously he is in good form. That bodes well for the tournament, but I would want a little bit more on him. So we're going to look past that, even though he is a potential winner. Ronnie O'Sullivan 11-2, always short in the betting. The most talented player, amazing. I'm not going to spend too long on Ronnie. He's a legend. He's an icon of the game. We know how he plays. Natural play. His safety is naturally good. He did work on his safety a little bit when he worked with Ray Reardon. He did work on his temperament. Sometimes he wasn't happy with how he was able to compose himself during the game. But he's sorted all that now. He's an old campaigner now. He's been around for so long. Can't believe how long he's been around. You're looking at him, he looks like a youngster. Still looks good, still plays good, still a factor. 11-2. Not sure, not one for me. It's a bit short. Only because it's short on price. I'm not saying one of the greatest, possibly the greatest player. He's in the mix when you talk about the greatest players, the Hendrys, the Steve Davises, the Reardons. But the price is too short for me, so we look past Ronnie O'Sullivan. Neil Robertson, 12-1. Hasn't won anything recently. Very talented. I like betting on Neil Robertson when he's confident, because he's got that Australian confidence. When he's feeling good, just gets on with it, and he's a hazard. He's dangerous. 12-1. I wouldn't be surprised if people looked at that and thought that's a reasonable figure, but I think it's just reasonable. I don't think there's any value in that, so we're going to look past that. Ding Junhui, 12-1. That's not bad. Ding, good break builder, solid all-round game. When he's on it, I think he's a little bit streaky though. Sometimes he goes missing. But yeah, 12-1 is solid. Shanghai Masters champion. He's capable of winning. The thing is, with the long format in the World Championship, it was very long format, longest format you can get. I'm not sure whether he lasts the trip. I don't know whether his concentration and his focus lasts the whole way in this very long format in the World Championships. So Ding, not so sure about that one. I mean, if someone was to take the 12-1 each way, I wouldn't knock them for it. John Higgins, 14-1. There was a time he was in great form in 2016. Coming towards the end, he picked up the Champions of Champions, which was a big win. He was looking confident, he was looking his old self. But recently he's been lacklustre. His safety that he relies on to ground out victories hasn't been where it should be. I mean, we've just seen him in the China Open. He was 4-1 up on Mark Williams, the dangerous Mark Williams, and he ended up losing 5-4. That is not typical John Higgins. He's usually professional. He usually knows how to grind out victories. He's got that reputation for being the best match player around. Not at the moment, not coming into April. So Higgins 14-1. I'm not really looking favourably on that at the minute. I know what he's capable of, but I just think at the moment he's not in the form that he needs. Can he find it? Certainly. And in a longer format, you find that the cream often rises to the top. Someone like Higgins, he always has a shot, but I'm not going to look at John Higgins on this occasion. Who I will look at is Mark Williams, who I just mentioned. Now, this is a funny one. It's an oddball. The reason I'm looking at Mark Williams is because he's out at 125-1. Former winner, multiple world champion, great resume. The problem we have with Williams now is he's coming towards the end of his peak, and he kind of just turns up with his cue, uses his natural talent, and if he wins, he wins. If he goes home, he's not bothered. I have seen Stephen Hendry comment on this in the commentary box before, saying he's not happy with Mark Williams' attitude. So if you compare Mark Williams' attitude and you compare John Higgins' attitude, it's two different things. John Higgins, his focus is going there to win at any cost. Mark Williams, don't know whether he's that focused. He's going there, he's using his talent. If it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I like him. Mark Williams, he comes to the table, great break builder, naturally brilliant. I love the way he just drops the balls into the pocket as well. He doesn't smash it, places it in there, good positional play. If he gets into form, it's going to be all about momentum with him. If he gets going and starts looking dangerous, he's got a chance. And 125-1, put a few quid on it each way and just enjoy the tournament. You don't really care what happens. 125-1, it's really big. Obviously, I can see the argument to say that he's past it. He's not going to last the trip. It's a long tournament, long frames. I can see all that and I can hear all that. But 125-1, stranger things have happened in sport. We've got Joe Perry. I like that one, 80-1. Did well not so long ago in a major tournament. He surprised a lot of people. I think he got to the final of the World Open in China. Ali Carter beat him 10-8. There's another one. Was it the Masters? There was another tournament he went deep in and people were shocked. Very steady player. Very capable. Very solid. I mean, it's not the most flashy player. It's not the greatest break builder in the world. It was the Masters, wasn't it? He lost 10-7 to Ronnie O'Sullivan. Got to the final, surprised a lot of people. He's capable of a lot. The problem with that bet, with it each way being a finalist place, do we think that Joe Perry is going to get to the final? I mean, you could say the same thing about the Mark Williams play I said. If you want a little bit of value, you could do a lot worse than Joe Perry at 80-1. Ali Carter, 66-1. Good player, good grit, solid all-round game. No one likes drawing Ali Carter. None of the top players like playing him. You know you're going to get a tough game. You know he's going to be relentless. 66-1, I think that's a good odds if you fancy it. Another one that's caught my eye in the betting is Yao Bing Tao, the youngster, 150-1. All talent. Lots of potential just at the start of his career. Saw him play Ronnie not so long ago. I think he was in the Masters. Put on a good show. I think he lost by a couple of frames in the end, but just all talent. Just an amazing player. 150-1. Yeah, it's a bit left field. I mean, for the World Championship, we need to look at proven track records and people that have done well at Sheffield, and that's where my next selection comes into play. We've got Shaun Murphy. He's coming in at 22-1. He just won in Gibraltar. Another streaky player. When he fancies it, he's amazing. When he doesn't fancy it, he sometimes loses to people he shouldn't in the early rounds. I think the price is good. If you look at other comparable sort of chances, I would compare his chances with someone like a Neil Robertson, someone like a Ding Junhui. We've got Robertson at 12-1. We've got Ding at 12-1. So why is Murphy 22-1 and he's won the tournament before? I think that's value. So for me, I'm looking at that one. He is leans at this stage though. I don't even think it would be wise to necessarily put money down at this stage. But Shaun Murphy at 22-1, it's tempting. He can win the tournament. He's got the talent. Sometimes I think with Murphy, he seems to be a little bit too concerned with how he may come across, how he looks. He seems to be trying to get the crowd on his side. Not trying, that's how he is. That's his temperament. I remember there was a section on with players writing their signature, And this analyst came and looked at their signature and analysed their temperament. And this is exactly what he said about him. He said, I don't know how, but he looked at his signature and his writing and said he's someone who, he cares what people think of him and things like that. I think he should focus on his game. If he focuses on his game and just focuses on winning, he could be deadly. He's got so much talent. He's so good to watch. Lovely guy as well. 22 to 1. I like that. Bingham, Stuart Bingham, 28 to 1. Former champion. I think he's ranked number 2 in the world, which surprised me when I heard it. I didn't know he was that high, but he's a good player. He's won a tournament before. 28 to 1. Yeah, it seems there's a little bit of meat on the bone on that one as well. It isn't one I would bet. He's not someone that I like to back consistently, because it depends with him what week it is. He's another one. He can be amazing. He's solid. His game is very solid. It's not flashy, but it's generally very solid. Like his safety is good, but it depends on where his head is at in that week. And so I'm not sure. And it's a long trip, the World Championship. Will he win another World Championship as well? I wouldn't have thought so. That would be my lean. If someone was going to ask me, can Bingham, he can win, but will he? I would say no. So he won't be. I don't think I'll be going for that. But in terms of the value, 28 to 1. It's not too bad. It's definitely one you could consider. It's a very big field. There's a lot of players you can consider. Liang Wenbo, 80 to 1. Talented player. Was it the Masters that he had Ronnie beaten? He just needed to finish with a black, and he missed it. It wasn't the easiest black in the world, but it's one you'd expect to take 7 or 8 times out of 10, and he choked on it. And Ronnie's face when he missed it. I think Ronnie consoled him after he won that frame, and then went on to win the next frame and won the match. But yeah, Wenbo is talented. 80 to 1. It's a good price. Is he going to go the trip in the World Championship and with these long frames in the grind? When you think of the World Championship, you think of the Peter Ebdons, you think of the Terry Griffiths. The players that grind it out, and I think that's an important factor in the World Championship. It's not necessarily about knocking down centuries. It's about having a solid game and winning when you might not even be at your best. But it's a long format. If you hang in there and play good safety, keep the game tight, you've got a chance. That's what the good thing. This is pure snooker. It's what I would compare it to in cricket. You'd compare it to Test match cricket. It's pure. It's the purest form of the game. The best player wins, and snooker's a game about mentality. So over a long format, you get to see who's mentally strong, who can pull it out when things get tough. As I talk about this, it makes me think about John Higgins more. But it's just his general form at the moment that makes me wonder. 14 to 1. Can he find that form? Because is this format it screams John Higgins. John Higgins. He's won a tournament so many times. Going through it now, I'm considering him. What I'll do, nearer the time, I'll probably do another video, or I may add something to the comments to say what actual picks I'm going to go for. But we've gone through a lot of them. There's a few that stand out. The Mark Williams at 125 to 1. I haven't even mentioned Barry Hawkins, 18 to 1. Definitely take that. I'm definitely going to take Barry Hawkins. It's a fair price. He's in amazing form. He's won a tournament recently. A very solid game. He's more confident now, Barry. He's capable of winning, and now he knows that he's capable of winning in himself. So that's huge. Barry Hawkins, 18 to 1. That's in the mix. Sean Murphy, I said I'll be looking at as well. But yeah, we'll be watching the tournaments. We're watching the China Open that's on currently to see what form players are in, to comment it again. But yeah, I've gone through it for the time being, and we'll revisit this again.